My country people, Peter Obi don't grant another interview again. My people, not be small. Make una sit down, listen to wetin e talk for inside this video. Very, very interesting. My people, not be small one. So, guys, make I not waste much of una time. Make we watch this video to the end. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this our YouTube channel. And this one are the part one of the video. Let's watch this video together.
On the program this morning, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the February 25th, 2023 election, Mr. Peter Obi, is right here with us in our studio. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, it's good to have you, really. I know that the pre-election polls, I mean, a lot of them said something. They put you as the winner. And I imagine in the whole scheme of things, you may have envisioned this moment, this period after the election, as a president-elect. You may have maybe envisioned what you'll be doing, the kind of deliberations you'll be doing, but that is not the case, clearly. And I just wonder, from your own point of view, because we hear your manifesto, we hear all of these things, but in terms of the emotional angle, how are you handling the result of the election, which goes against perhaps what you had anticipated?
Well, for me, is when you go into a competition, especially in a transactional country as Nigeria, you expect all sorts. And whatever the outcome, the most important thing is to stay on course. And for me, I'm on course on this because we've seen probably what I consider the worst election in our recent history because of the electoral law of 2022, which gave so much hope, and the huge expenditure we put into technology. You know what it means, spending over $1 billion, 400-something billion. So there was so much that was promised. And then we went back to where we used to be. For me, that is very, very devastating. That a country as big as Nigeria, the giant of Africa, and supposedly a nation that should be celebrated globally, 63 years after independence, cannot conduct a simple election. Just election. That's how I feel. But for me, the struggle is on. We must reverse this situation.
So are you hurt? Are you saddened? Do you have hope? I just want to understand your mental state now.
I'm not hurt personally. I'm not saddened personally. But I am for my country and the future. It portends for the young ones and the future generation. Because we can't go on this way. It must be a better place. We must bequeath them a better place. It is about the future of the society. We have my generation who will say, we've lost it. But we must build a better place for them. And that building the better place is why I'm saddened. Because a simple thing as conducting an election. I can assure anybody that if today I'm in service, Nigeria will not spend near what was spent, and we have a first-class election that will be celebrated globally. Look at the editorials globally all over the newspapers, starting from the Financial Times to the Economist to everything, to Chatham House, that doesn't, institutions that don't make comments, is not making comment, bringing us so low in Committee of Nations. Even one of the rating agencies downgraded our rating. Already a junk rating. Why bring us that low again?
Which of the ratings do you refer to?
Let me remember. I'll remember it because of this, because I have quite a number of them.
Okay, I just also want to understand, because this is not your first time participating in elections. I mean, you participated in governorship, you've been a running mate, and a lot of people have spoken about previous elections. You think that this is the worst in the country's recent history?
Yes, it is the worst because of, like I said, remember, I said because of the law, the 2022 law, that gave so much hope when it was passed, because all those loopholes and difficulties we used to have were taken care of. And then again, we invested in technology, which was supposed to make it seamless. And that was so much noise of from polling booth to server, and everybody would see it globally, and we advertised it. Go and look at the speech of the APC presidential candidate at Chatham House. Go and look at my own speech. Go and look at the speech of the INEC chairman in Chatham House. Everybody paid so much emphasis on the law and the technology. In fact, the APC presidential candidate said that the winner, that the beavers is evolutionary, that the winner of next election requires an overwhelming mandate of the people to have the courage to be able to do the right things for the country. I said the same thing. And the chairman of INEC said it will be there for the world to watch, that they can watch it from there. I mean, what else do you expect, guy? When you promise so much, and you didn't even meet the minimum.
Mr. B, that's still the bone of contention here. I know that the national chairman of your party had seemingly passed a vote of no confidence on INEC, and INEC has painstakingly, through television appearances and press briefings, reassured that it has nothing to hide and that it will make documents available. Following all of those efforts by INEC, are you satisfied now? Have you been granted access to inspect the information on the BVAS machines used for the presidential election?
Well, it's not our chairman of our party that passed vote of no confidence. Nigerians have. It's not chairman of our party. Everybody, including you, I'm sure, have vote of no confidence in them. You might not say it here.
I mean, you can't be sure, Mr.
Everybody, I'm definitely sure you could see it. Whenever there's an election announced globally, what it does is that it uplifts the rating, the status of that society. But every newspaper, I mean, go and read the Punch editorial on Sunday. And these are editorial. It has never happened before where we have bad editorial globally and internally, where people are saddened. Go to the airport. If you're not sure, but just when you finish this program, go out on the street and ask people, how do you feel? And they'll tell you. So Nigerians have passed vote of no confidence, not the chairman of Labour Party. An issue of beavers and everything, we have legally, within the law, approached INEC requesting to inspect the materials on which they conducted the election. And I believe they are cooperating. Even when they said they will reconfigure, they've said they are going to put it at the back-end server so that we'll be able, after the election. And for me, we don't want to disrupt the process, electoral process that is ongoing. We want to do things in an organized manner, because at the end of the day, it's our country.
But have you been granted that unfettered access now? It's just 2 days to...
Yes, we've been granted that, but you know they're going to do elections, so they said when they finish the election, they'll give us the ABC, which for me is okay.
Okay.
Let them do whatever they want to do so that we can have, you know, and I pray that this one become better than the last one.
Still on the election, it was a shocker that you won Lagos. And not one, at least I've heard two members of your party say that the votes that went to the Labour Party from Lagos during the presidential election actually was about 900,000. And I'm just wondering how believable that is, you know, if the accredited number of accredited voters is 1.347 million. And, you know, what went to the presidential candidate of the APC, who, by the way, is also very popular in Lagos, is 572,606 votes. How possible is it that you would have secured about 900,000 votes in Lagos? So what would have gone to the presidential candidate of the APC?
I can assure you that the position announced by INEC is is false. It's not wrong. I don't know exactly what it would have been, but I can show you.
But you have your results.
Our votes are far more than that. These are not issue of contention, which I don't intend to say there, but our figures are far more than that.
Because the matter is in court.
And its matter is in court, so I'll leave it at that. What did we do? Because we campaigned and told the people the right things. And remember, my watchword is go and verify whatever I'm telling you. You can only draw from the past. We campaigned, told the people the truth, nothing but the truth. And they know that from our past what we're promising we're going to do. We wanted to build a new Nigeria where this Lagos will be a place and a financial center, not just for Africa, but come probably the Middle East. We need a place that we used to drive the change of Africa in terms of finance. And I'm part of that world. And the same thing is what we have done all over Nigeria. Because we have, the North would have been something where you have engine of pulling people out of poverty due to massive agricultural production that will lead to industry, that will lead to export. The East would have been a place, you can say, also of industries I imagine, exporting also products, again, through the Port Harcourt, Akwa Ibom, Warriors, and you're doing the same thing here in Lagos. This country can be turned around as quickly as possible and become something everybody will wish to celebrate.
I just wanted to be sure. I mean, your lawyers met with INEC some days ago, and the INEC chairman made that statement that there's nothing to hide. Has that changed the position, perhaps the trust? Because time and again, we saw the joint press conference after the election. Your party, the PDP, and I think the ADC had that joint conference. The chairman, you've said time and again that you don't trust this process. So that meeting,
that was the initial.
Do you now trust INEC?
That was when we were starting it. If somebody had pronounced this what they pronounced, there's no way the trust evaporated. But they're not dealing with the lawyers. We are dealing with the lawyers. I don't go to INEC any longer. I'm not part of it.
So has the trust been restored in INEC?
Well, I believe the lawyers so far are satisfied. And if they are, like I said, the case is not in court. So it's no longer me trusting or not trusting INEC. There's now something between the two of us. So if that which is between the two of us, which is our lawyers, trust them,
you're fine with that?
I'm fine with
because
that.
You have a history with, pardon me, Bukola, you have a history with the tribunal, so to speak, with the court. I think it was your case that first changed the calendar of election cycle in Nigeria. That's in Anambra years ago. So it looks like a lot of people are looking to see if thunder will strike twice on this one. Are you confident in the judiciary as you were then?
Well, I am because, like I said, I stayed in court for 3 years where people say it's impossible for you to become a governor through the court, and I became the first. Remember, I was impeached. And again, the court brought me back. And I went for interpretation when I said my tenure is not complete, which was one you referred to, that change. They said it's impossible because somebody else has been elected and sworn in, but I changed it. So if you go through that, I've been going through courts, several of them, and I've not had any cause to doubt the courts. But I can tell you, I believe Nigeria have the best, one of the best judiciary globally. It is we politicians that are trying to, because of our transnational nature, is trying to ensure that everywhere is corrupted. And that I wish the judiciary can start reversing. Even with this case, they are seeing globally what is happening. Globally. People go everywhere in the world and they ask, what happened with Nigeria in the election? Africans are surprised. The giant of Africa can no longer deliver just election. We're not talking about something great. It's just election. Ghana is to soon have election. Without beavers, without everything. It will be seamless, peaceful. You'll see it come very soon. So what is wrong with us?
Well, Ghana is, I mean, in terms of population, in terms of the sheer size of what they have to handle, I'm just saying I don't know if that's a comparison. It's okay to learn and, you know, compare notes, but I don't know if that's a fair comparison. Just quickly.
But just before you go ahead with that point, I just want to follow up on your confidence in the judiciary. Is it against all odds, you know, to the effect that, you know, there's a diminishing trust quotient, particularly in the Supreme Court, you know, following court verdicts on certain governorship elections in the country? So are you still confident regardless of all of these factors?
I don't go anywhere referring how the other people were treated. Irrespective of their controversial judgments recently, I have confidence that they know the country is collapsing. They know they have to help to build a better place for their children. And kind Ghana, if you're talking about Ghana being much more...
If it's fair to compare Ghana with Nigeria.
India is the biggest and the most populous democratic country. India in my last count have, I think, 912 or 900 plus registered voters, which is about 10 times that size of Nigeria. And India election participation, electoral process, is about 67%. 67% card is about, again, above 600 million, I think about 611. If you divide that by 24 million, it's 25 times. Yet, the issue of, call it, problems associated with it is not more than 5%. So, it is a Nigerian problem. Indonesia, Brazil are all bigger in population. They too have challenges, but minus or plus 5%. And it's resolved very quickly. People can see it. What we are saying here is that we had a technology which we paid and advertised so much. How do you feel that your advertising channel is going to be great, things are going to work in channel and everything, and on the day channel is supposed to unveil it, channel now comes out and say, well, listen, we didn't know, or this is fine. Let's not go there.
Thank you all for watching. Make you leave your own comment for the comment section as I go to see you now for our next video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to be the member of this platform. See you guys. Bye.